Time is relative in the theater. At the end of Tony Kushner's Angels in America, Millennium Approaches, your watch may say that more than 3.5 hours have gone by, but you don't notice the passing of time in a gripping production like the one now at Washington University. The play is set in 1985, when the AIDS crisis had begun to ravage America. The action centers on the intersecting lives of two couples. The relationship of Prior Walter and Louis Ironson is tested when Prior develops symptom of AIDS and Louis is unable to provide the support Prior needs. Louis Gordon as Prior and Alex Knapp as Louis vividly depict the damage AIDS has inflicted on this couple. The marriage of Joe and Harper Pitt is constantly tested. Joe is a clerk of a judge at the courthouse where Louis is in the word processing pool. Louis immediately recognizes that Joe is a closeted gay. Joe fears the same thing, but won't admit it to himself or his wife because his Mormon faith condemns homosexuality. The inner conflict tearing Joe apart is always evident in Nathan Wedder's performance. Joe's deception has taken a grim toll on Harper. She has developed agoraphobia and an addiction to Valium. Stephanie Wright's portrayal captures Harper's fragility and desperation, as well as the quirkiness of her fantasy life. Prior appears in one of Harper's drug-induced dreams, even though the two have never met. Joe's mentor is another closeted gay man, Roy Cohn, the New York power broker who was Joe McCarthy's protege. Cohn's denial of his sexuality takes a different form from Joe's. Cohn thinks he is too powerful to be lumped together with people who have been marginalized by their sexuality. When Cohn is told he has AIDS, he informs the doctor that the correct diagnosis is liver cancer. Stephen Real has the full measure of Cohn's effrontery. Excellent performances in multiple roles come from Justin Wright as the imaginary friend of Harper's and a real friend of Prior's. Kelly Abel as Joe's mother, a rabbi, and Ethel Rosenberg. Helen Fox as a doctor, a realtor, and an ancestor of Prior's in a dream. And Jackie Randolph as a nurse, a homeless woman, and an angel. In addition to eliciting responsive interpretations from the entire cast, director Henry Achivé keeps the flow of action swift and clear on an evocative set by Robert Mark Morgan under flexible lighting by Jeremy Pomerantz. The staging has astutely designed costumes by Mona Jahani, sound by Benjamin Lewis, props by Emily Fry, projections by Sean Savoy, and music composed by William Lehman. The configuration of the Edison Theater for this production has the audience on stage and banks of temporary seating on 3 sides of the action. This setup certainly adds to the intimacy of the production. The permanent seats in the Edison Theater are not empty, however. Attached to each seat is a black balloon in memory of all those lost to HIV/AIDS. Seeing this sea of balloons was deeply moving as I left this splendid production.
Yeah, that was a lovely touch. And I was very happy to see this play yet again because there are so many wonderful little things in it, not all of which I'd remembered. And I thought this was an unusually good production of it.
I agree.